I got invited down to a game. There were 65 people. It might have been the end of '88. Back then, that was a big game. I realized paintball was going to be a big part of my life very quickly, and within a couple of weeks, I was addicted. My first time playing paintball was in 1983. Bought 4 Splatmasters.
I've known Blue since the early 90s. I've been playing since 1986. I've been a player for the Blues Crew since day one.
I've been playing for Blues Crew about 10 years, and I've been playing paintball for about 32 years.
This year, it'll be my 31st year playing paintball.
We used to sit out at night at games here, talking about how something like Blues Crew could happen.
How it all started, we're at World Cup one night about 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting in an Irish bar. It's Eric Stork with Severe Paintball and Greg Hastings, both good friends of mine. I said, I have this idea.
Tapped his friends, tapped his contacts, he dug down, he made the crew happen.
Everything that we can do to bring people to keep this game alive and running, that's what we do. It's not about paintball, it's about family, and it's about keeping this game that we love so much all across the United States and Canada running.
What's his contribution? Oh, wow.
Blue's done a lot. I mean, he's been in the sport, he's been pushing the sport of paintball for over 30 years.
First off, we've got the Castle Conquest series, the largest attack and defend game in the industry, period. Blue started it.
Castle Conquest, instant firepower in your face. It is insanely intense. It is loud.
Just the amount of paint being thrown at one time, it's utter insanity.
Some of the weirdest props you'd ever think of in there. Got to literally break in the walls, run in the open part of the castle, and grab those props and try to run back out without getting shot.
The walls are ripping apart. You got paintballs flying at your face. It's pure 100% adrenaline.
I call it in-your-face paintball. Basically, everybody is shooting from me to you, this close. It's very intense.
It's a good time between the bonfire and everybody's out on the decks grilling food.
For players that have never been here, when I talk to them, I tell them when you come here, you're never going to be able to see this anywhere else. You literally can walk up and down Bunkhouse Row. You can talk to any player you want to.
Everyone's quick to invite somebody in, hey, come on over, grab some food, have a drink, chill out. And then, people start telling their war stories.
When strangers come here, they become part of the family immediately.
I know this is my last castle. I've accepted that.
For selfish reasons, I want him to keep playing. Just one of those omnipresent things, a constant. He's been there since before I started playing, and my entire playing career, he's been there.
It's an icon leaving the game.
Paintball represents many different things to many different people. For some, it's an opportunity to compete in a high-level athletic environment through tournaments, eventually hoping to win championships and travel the world while playing at the highest level. For others, like the 1,500 people who have arrived in the woods of Pennsylvania this weekend, paintball is a passionate pursuit, equal parts adrenaline, bonding, and escapism. It's a recreational endeavor where hundreds of players combine and battle together in a giant big game consisting of 2 sides, working for a common objective. It's a passion that Michael Hanse found a long time ago.
My first time playing, I own an office products business. I did a lot of layout and design work and government contracts and all. I was on my way to a seminar down in Baltimore, and I heard an ad about this game. A place in Virginia had just started it. I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and when I got back from the trip, I looked into it, was thinking about going down to Virginia to try it. Instead, I thought, well, I got an acre and a half of woods beside my house. I went down to the local sporting goods store, who was a friend of mine and a customer. I said, listen, can you get me 4 paintball markers? And he goes, what's that? And I said, okay. I told him. It took about 2 weeks. NSG just released the Splatmaster in 1983. And he gets back to me and said, hey, I just got this flyer for these paintball markers. And I said, great. Get me 4 of them. Get me CO2 cartridges, paintballs, whatever I need. He said, okay. He called me up 2 weeks later. I picked them up, called up a bunch of friends of mine. said, hey, guys, got something new to try. Let's go shoot each other, and have fun out in the woods. I got a bunch of food. We went out in my backyard and into the woods, and we started playing and just fell in love with it. I got my nickname Blue in Paw Paw, West by God, Virginia. And I bought one of the first 68 specials, and it's like number 318, and came out of the first batch. I told them, send me a case of paint. They sent me a case of Blue Nelson, and it was just, back then, it wasn't oil-based anymore, but it's still, the blue stained everything. And I was the oldest player there. I was like early 30s. I was the most experienced player there, and I was the only one with a semi-automatic paintball marker. Everyone else was using either red or orange paint, and I'm using this blue that marked everything. You couldn't wipe it off. It was just, it stained everything. And throughout the day, we'd switch up. We'd play like 45-minute games, and then we'd switch up teams. I shot everybody that day. There wasn't anybody that did not have blue all over them. And I could see every place I went there was blue. And I thought, this is really cool. By the end of the day, they were calling me Blue, or the Blue Man, or something like that. There was a lot of it was derogatory, like, oh, this effing blue, and this, because everybody couldn't get it off. And I would try and tell people about playing paintball. And back in the 80s, they look at you like you're crazy. Because nobody knew what paintball was. I thought this would be a great way to show that paintball's not all military and we aren't training to go kill people, which back then that's what they thought. This is all about team sports. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get blue. In fact, over in the corner is my first blue so-called jersey. Painted my Tippmann. I got spray model paint and tore it apart, painted it metallic blue. I started wearing all blue. Vince came out with a blue ref mask. People just started calling me Blue. And then as I got into the industry full-time, it was just a great marketing tool, because there's a million mics around. So it just got, everybody always called me Blue. I thought, great. Been in it full-time since 1992.
Interchangeable. Do we have the PE banner?
Yeah. Right here.
No,
My name is Edwin. My paintball team is Blackout Protocol. I've been playing paintball, I would say about 5 years, and I joined this team like 4 years ago.
How cold is it at?
It is freezing. You see me crossing my arms right now. I should have worn thermal underwear today. Objective of Castle Conquest, well, from what I can tell, is attackers and defenders. We have to scour through the field looking for keys so we can unlock the castle so we can storm it finally.
The objective of Castle Conquest is to remove from the castle 10 objects. The object of the defenders is to keep us from getting those 10 objects. If we get 4 of those objects out of the castle in the first 2 hours, the attackers may continue until the end of the game. Or 6 hours, whichever comes first.
I don't know, what makes it so much fun, Castle Conquest?
Honestly, I think it's not just the game itself, but the people you play with. I mean, it's great to play with a team like this. We like to work as a group. We know each other well. We know that we can complete the objectives without any problems. We communicate, and it's awesome, this game.
Find a spot, hook it up.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Great.
Woo! I'm going to go over the basic safety rules and the game rules for Castle Conquest. There's a copy. There's copies in there, and I'll have copies here, so.
EMR Castle Conquest, that's a cool little story. When I first came here to look at the property, when I was thinking about buying it for a paintball field, and the original castle up on the hill, as I pulled in, I was meeting the owner down here at the rec center, and as I pulled in, I stopped at the castle, walked inside. At that time, it was a standalone field. It just had one doorway. You went in and you played inside of it. I walked in, and my very first thought was, oh my God, I can make the best attack and defend game ever. I can put 3 more doors in, put a couple ramps off the back hill to the upper ramparts, and I'm a little bit of a history buff, so I know the standard do a siege and take a fortification. It's usually 4-to-1 odds. And you want to have 4 times as many people to take something like a castle. So I made it 4-to-1 odds.
For each rule violation, you will receive a hole punch on your ID tag. Guys, let's keep this safe. Keep it good sportsmanship.
Rest of the rules are basic paintball rules.
The biggest one, of course, is your goggles. When you go past that netting, you need to have your goggles on. You never lift them, you never remove them, don't pull them out, you keep them on. If you have a problem with falling and can't see, you call a ref to get you off the field.
When you get inside castle, show a little mercy, please. I mean, most of us don't want to go walking away from the game and explain to our wives why we've got hickeys that are 6 feet long. But other than that, that's about it. It's a giant attack and defend game. There are copious amounts of paint in the air at any one time.
The one thing I'd say that kind of separates us here at EMR is that everyone says it's the EMR family. The camaraderie and the socialization and that you get while you're here, that's something that we've worked hard to build over the last 21 years.
Sold my other business and came up here and bought the old Wolf's Lair, and that's what's EMR Paintball now.
So I've now been playing EMR for 15 years. When I used to play when I was like 14 years old, I was playing with these guys in Connecticut. They take me up to this place in Pennsylvania called Endless Mountain Range Paintball Park, EMR. I'm like, all right, I'll take a trip up there. I'll try it out one time. So EMR is set up where you could spend an entire week here. You could easily vacation here and hang out. The campsites are, more than enough, but the bunkhouses is what makes EMR.
Yeah, I mean, some of our teams have been coming up here, like the Boneheads. They've been coming up here since we opened in '96, and they've completely customized their bunkhouse. They have 6 TVs in there, surround sound systems.
Boneheads, this is our 21st year here, I believe, 22, and the team's been around for 25 years. It's been a family since I've been coming up here, since like 98, 99, something like that.
Is this actually still a bunkhouse?
It's still a bunkhouse, but it's our bunkhouse. This is just our chill area. Like, we come up, we have people like over or whatever, anybody comes and hangs out. Got it pretty hooked up here. As you can see, this is where we sleep, set up our food, always have the good food.
Here at EMR, we have 35 bunkhouses. Each one sleeps 21 people. We have 106 campsites. And so at nighttime, the party and everybody just hangs out. They turn into bar and grills at the bunkhouses. You can walk through here and not have any food or anything to drink, and believe me, you will be well fed. You will get whatever you want to drink because everybody just takes care of each other. Everybody wanders around. It's like going to a block party.
Some of them, it's their home away from home and they come up here to have a good time. You know, they have as much fun out on the paintball field as they do hanging out with, you know, all their boys back at their bunkhouse.
It's all the families, it's all the friends that come back every year, and you really get to hang out and experience the nightlife, and the big bonfires are great, and you just get to meet and talk to a lot of good players and people.
It's like going to New Orleans and walking down Bourbon Street and hitting all these different places because everybody has such a good time, and you know, we never have any fights, we never have any problems, and it's a wonderful extension of what you did during the day.
You have to sign up for it per side.
Big game teams that were sponsored by the industry. In an age when teams are only being sponsored by manufacturers to go play tournaments. A big game, woods ball, nobody was interested in it. Blue got the manufacturers to see the value of it.
Because at the time, everybody made everything for tournaments and tournament players. By then, I was starting to do more of the big games and scenario games. I was still playing tournaments, but I started going to the big events and the scenario games and realized how much of a market there was. And these people wanted good equipment just like everybody else.
Half of the stuff that you've got sitting in your gear bag right now is probably because Blue seeded an idea with a manufacturer for you to have that it was needed for a woods ball player.
Everybody thought, oh, they buy something cheap and go play. Well, they don't. They want the same equipment that I shoot, which has always been top end. And that's why I've been with Eclipse for years because, it's great equipment. So I'd had this idea. We're at World Cup, and one night about 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting in an Irish bar.
Remember one time long ago, sitting at a table with industry leaders there, and Blue's dropping seeds to them and they're dropping seeds to him. It just all came together.
Actually, after I got out of manufacturing and was just doing EMR, I thought, I want to start a team that is a true marketing team company. Not just another team, hey, we'll put you on our banner, we'll use your equipment, and if we win something, we'll hold your banner up and say thank you, which is, I used to sponsor teams when I was a manufacturer. I wanted to show them that we could actually market it to the players.
Blue, with his concept of the Blues crew, and it's different, it's amazing, actually. When you're on the team and do what he requires from us to do, it's totally different than what other teams does.
We'll go to events at other fields and we'll see a group of kids. They might not seem like they really know what they're doing, but hey guys, why don't you come run with us? Come run with us. We'll show you, we'll make sure you go out and have a good time. Stop by the compound, if you have any questions or anything you want to know about the sport or about the game. Always just trying to promote it in a positive manner.
And we did exactly what I said. I started with 40 people, so I'd always had at least 20 people at a game, and we started going to events, we started marketing. Eventually, I had a huge compound. We'd go to an event, and we'd set up a 20-foot by 40-foot compound of tents, and then I had a 24-foot trailer that we also did retail. We carried products for the companies that we represented. There's a couple guys on our team that we brought on the Blues Crew specifically because they have the same feelings that we do. Tom Bianco, he's on Blues Crew, he also has Fox's Den, so his grandson and all their friends, he gets them out, so they come to Blues Crew events with us.
Blue's like a brother to me. We've been playing paintball against and with each other forever. But coming here to EMR, first time I ever came here, I played his Holy Grail, which he originated the game. And it just was like, got me into the scenario, and that's when I joined him and been playing with him ever since.
That's another reason I started Blues Crew. I was afraid when I quit playing tournaments, I was afraid that I wouldn't get that rush as much. Then when I brought together a bunch of tournament players that weren't playing anymore, and I ran my team through drills just like we did when we did tournaments, and we were very effective. That's a rush. That's an addiction when you can make that move and take out that many people. And, it's just like when you're hanging the flag or when you're playing tournaments where you're the one that gets the flag and gets it back. And you took out 3 players. And the thing I like so much about the big game scenario games is after that's done, then you hang out with everybody. And it continues into the camaraderie, which is another big part of paintball.
Friends shooting friends, it doesn't make a difference to us. We love shooting each other, and when we're done, we love talking about it.
And you can shoot them during the day and have a drink with them at night. I know this is my last castle, and this wasn't a decision I made lightly.
I'm sorry to see the man go. He's a legend, plain and simple, and I'm very proud to call him a friend.
Honestly, it's mostly because, I've been playing 33 years, turned 60 years old, and my body's telling me it's time to relax a little bit more. I've always been a adrenaline junkie my whole life, and so it's always been, to the wall.
I didn't forget you, Blue. Your last game. I love you. Blue has just been like a father figure to me because I actually had a paintball company for a little while, and he would allow me to travel with him. And
what Blue's crew has done, taking that on the road to the different scenario events around the country to promote that style of play, that relaxed, laid back but yet aggressive and in your face style of play, everybody having a good time, all inclusive, and just promoting a great positive side of the sport, I guess.
This being his last year, I can understand where he's coming from. I've played with Blue for quite a while, and I'll tell you what, he's just beat himself up senseless I don't know how many times to play because he's that kind of a player. He just goes balls to the wall. There's no stopping.
I was ready. I know it's going to be my last one. Honestly, I'm fine with it. It's occasionally I think, geez, my last year playing, I'm actually going to do this, so it's going to be hard.
I don't think it's going to happen, Blue. I'm going to call you on this. You're going to be able to stay away for a little while, but you're going to get that itch, and it's going to come back, and I know you're going to be playing, so we will be seeing you again at some point.
So it's time. I've accepted that. And you know, I'll still be involved in paintball and with the facility here at EMR, and everybody can come here and see me. But you know, I just won't be playing anymore.
Okay, let's go attack the castle.
What's going on right now?
Oh, we swept outside, took all the outside keys. Now the 6 doors, the 4 doors, and the 2 gang ramps from the castle open up. So now we can storm it. Time to take it.
It's fantastic. The weather was good. The players were good. Paint shot excellent, and you know, everybody had a good time. We took it in about 2.5 hours. Defenders did a really good job, but it was a battle from the beginning to the end. So yeah, very happy with it. I had a blast. Took the first key on the outside from Castle Numbskull to open the doors, and made a couple good moves. The whole crew was working together like a machine. So were all the other players. I mean, all the attackers worked well. We had a lot of good teams out here playing, and like I said, a lot of good teams defending. So yeah, fantastic game. Well, we were in the walls. I had a couple props left to get, and I knew there were some guys in the center tower in the courtyard. So I made a quick run into the center tower, saw one guy about 8 feet away, side of his head, and I didn't want to shoot him, so I kept yelling at him, player, go out. I knew there was a couple other players in there, and finally, he couldn't hear me, so I just went in, shot the other 2 players, and went up and shot the last guy. Didn't mean to shoot him quite so close, but it was all happened within a matter of seconds, and cleared out the whole downstairs of the center tower. It was definitely a great last move, made me feel good. And you know, it's didn't feel quite as old as normal.
Legacy. The true depth of a person's impact isn't measured by what they have collected while in the presence of others, but rather what they have created for people to experience in their absence. By this measurement, Lou's legacy in paintball is as large as anyone's. He has created avenues where people young and old alike can share something truly special together that will live with them forever.
Put my heart and soul into building this industry, like a lot of people that have been in it this long. My legacy is that you know, I want that to continue. Keep the sport a family. EMR has always been a family. We have pushed that from day one.
When Michael Hanse talks about EMR and family, it isn't simply hyperbole.
My son is 35. I started him playing on his 9th birthday.
Begged him for years to let me play, but at that time he had to be 18 to play. So eventually he started his own little field. We had a little 1.5 acre field behind our house, and he built a paintball field out of it. So one day, after my 9th birthday, bugging him, he's like, all right, I'm gonna take you out. He's like, we're gonna play a little bit, and if you like it, and you think you want to do it, then I'll let you play tomorrow. I have a group of people coming out. So he took me out in the woods, those splat masters, running around. I was trying to shoot him. Finally, I started to get close, and he shot me, so I didn't know what it felt like. Not close, probably like 30 feet away, but he shot me. I got hit. I was like, he's like, you all right? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you want to play tomorrow? I'm like, absolutely. And then never looked back since then.
We've been running and gunning together ever since. And paintball's been something that we could do together. My wife played too. I mean, all three of us played together all those years, and it was fantastic. We traveled the country together. Too many times you do see people just drop their kids off to play paintball and they go home. I asked fathers, well, why aren't you playing? And I never really got any answers that I thought were reasonable. It's like, you should be doing this too with your son or with your daughter. This is something you could do together, and you don't usually get that chance. Your kids play sports in junior high or little league or high school. You're just watching or coaching. That's your only two options. Here, you can participate and do it with them and alongside them. Fathers, people that played out here, now bringing their sons out to play because they're experiencing the same thing I've been able to experience for the last 20-some years. Getting to play with their sons and their daughters, and a lot more wives are playing. I see whole families playing. It's been fantastic. We even have some 3 generations now where you got a grandfather, son, and grandson. I love seeing that.
True legacies are endless. The Castle Conquest series, Endless Mountain Range Paintball Park, and the Blues Crew will continue to provide endless opportunities for paintball players to forge friendships, tell war stories, and follow the same passion that grabbed Blue 30 years ago. The greatest legacies are measured by what they inspire. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters. People getting off the couch and playing paintball together at their local field. That will be Blue Hanse's ultimate legacy.
Like we've been doing from day one, we're going to keep playing hard, keeping the ones that everybody follows in on firefights. That's what Blues Crew is. We're out there to have fun. Please come and join us. Come and see us, come and visit with us, come and play with us. We're painting the world blue, one field at a time.
That's not a good thing.
And the fact that it's Cooley getting shot in the neck.
Dude, nobody knows. Animal! This is what I do, Blue. You want to come and attack me? Fine. I love you, guy. Bring it on any day. That was a solid shot. I'm still upset.